Welcome to my alchemy guide. This is going to be the best way to get your alchemy leveled up to maximum as fast as possible. We're going to go through two recipes, which is the marigold and the Saviour Schnapps potions. This is because marigold is so easy to get hold of and so easy to make, should be easy to follow along, and the Saviour Schnapps is just mega important, and I want to have that in the video so everybody has everything they need. After that, you're free to go off and make your own potions as you see fit. In my inventory, and I will show this before we start, we want to go with one dried ingredient and one not dried ingredient. Having one fresh makes it much easier to get the maximum tier of potion. Having some stuff dried on hand just means that you don't have to gather very much. In particular, if you keep something like dried belladonna and dried marigold on hand, that's going to mean you could just go out, pick some nettles, and then produce potions whenever you want to. I want to point out that in my testing, as your alchemy skill grows and you start taking some of the perks, the goalpost not only seems to get easier, but it also seems to change. When I was doing mine, and it would literally happen whilst I was live streaming, I was doing the exact same thing, trying to count how many pumps or like the amount of time I was doing on each of the crafts. Once I got to the point where I was taking Secret of Secrets, I went from overcooking stuff to undercooking stuff, and it was really weird. It took me a long time to get exactly to where I think is a good place, but I just want to say, if you start following exactly the steps that I'm doing and you're low in alchemy and it starts out not being very good, it's just something to do with taking the perks as you start leveling up. Now, of course, I haven't taken any of the ones that make it easier. I've been taking the ones that make them better, and we get more potions per craft, because I think that's better. Once you kind of get it down and you're getting it more often, that's going to mean we don't have to spend as long crafting the potions. So I think overall that's the better way. We are just going to be getting much better stuff this way. To start with then, we're going to go through the marigold decoction. You don't need to have the recipe in your book, and I believe, I don't know if this is true because I haven't done it, but I have heard that if you craft it once, it will add it to your recipe book for you. If you want to go and Google other recipes so that you have them and then just do it, then you don't have to buy the book. That's all up to you, but I think reading and getting your reading stat up whilst you're doing this is the better way to go. As you can see, we need one nettle, two marigold to start making these potions. These are very common. You can find them all over the place. And the way this is going to work is we need to add water to the cauldron first. So we look left. Now, of course, I'm going to go slowly whilst we can. Once it starts cooking, I can't really slow down though. Have a look at the page if you want to know the steps that I'm going to be doing, just so that you're aware of that. So we're going to add in our fresh nettle and my dried marigolds here. And this is the magic. If you use two dried, it'll come out as strong. If you do what I'm doing right now at my level, then it's going to come out as Henry. First things first, we want to add the nettle to the water. Now, as soon as we drop this down, I can't slow down, but I will try and say what I'm doing as we're doing it. So we're going to lower this down. We're going to pump it once so that the boiling has already started. Turn the sand glass, and whilst that's boiling, we want to get the marigold into the mortar. You don't really want to be slow about this, so you do need to get some practice in. And then we can turn the hourglass, pump it once more. At this point, we're now just waiting for the hourglass to run down, and then we can lift it up. That's done. We want to get that as soon as that has run out of time. Add the marigold in. And then we can pour it in. And as you can see, we get Henry's marigold decoction. So you can repeat that exactly in those steps. Like I said, if you're like alchemy level 1 and it's giving you weak ones, because that was literally what it was doing to me when I went back on a lower level character to test this, don't worry about it. Get used to the proper way of doing it, and once you get up there, you'll be getting the good potions. Moving on to the Saviour Schnapps then. This is obviously a little bit more painful, because if we get this wrong, this is more costly because the belladonna is more annoying to farm. I will go and show you where I get my belladonna from at the end of this video, just so you guys can have plenty, but you know, it's still going to take a bit of practice to get this down. As we can see, some extra steps for this one. This one takes a little bit longer to craft, and just remember that getting the perfect crafts gets you more XP, so it is worth trying to get it down, because that's going to speed up how everything goes. For the Saviour Schnapps, we want to go with wine. I'm going to get that in there now. Get the herbs out. So we've got our fresh nettle and then my dried belladonna here. And then, as before, we're going to get the nettle into the wine. And then from here, obviously, we have to go pretty quick. So we're going to lower it down. Give it a pump. Turn the glass. Now we want to add the 2 belladonna to the mortar. Alright, once that's done, we're going to turn it. 1 pump. Now what we need to do is immediately grind up the stuff in the mortar. By the time it's done, you'll see the hourglass has gone down, so we need to add that in quickly. Turn the hourglass. Give it 1 pump. And now we just wait for the hourglass to run down. As soon as that's down, lift it out. And then we can use the file, turn that into Saviour Schnapps. Boom. Henry's Saviour Schnapps every time. That's Joe's secret sauce. Hopefully that helps you guys out. I'm going to show you guys a couple of spots where you can get some belladonna. I don't know if it's all going to be there, but I'll show you anyway. Directly across, so let's just bring this up on the map. It should be pretty obvious because there's not many crafting benches, but directly across by the side of the guardhouse, we can get 2 pieces that grow up here in this little alleyway. They have respawned for me, so we've got a couple of bits here. This isn't a lot, but if you are in a pinch or very early in the game, there's your 2. That gives you 1 Saviour Schnapp right there. Just nice if you do happen to just really desperately need a craft. The second spot is just a little bit further down. So we've got this first white wall. We're going to come on down past this little shed thing. So we've got the 2 trees, and then there's a little bit more that can grow against this wall here. It's going to give us an extra bit of belladonna. It's good to know just where a few of these are. You can often see it out in the wild. Sometimes you need to know where some is. Now, once you've collected all of that, we're going to continue down this road to the south. And on your way down, you should see this white pillar right here, which is a shrine. I'll bring this up on the map so you guys can see. And just as you hit the corner of this little bit of farmland here, if you turn to the right, you can usually see there's some in this field. Look at that, that was perfect. I could not have scripted that. We have the belladonna out into the field. You can come into here, get all of this. That's going to be all of your belladonna. Nettles are everywhere. Marigold is everywhere. This realistically shouldn't take you more than 2 to 3 hours. You can have your alchemy skill capped out, which brings us to the end of the video. I hope that helps you guys out, and I'll catch you all in the next one.